continent during the British raj, it was because you were chastised by the British, right? That's the only way you had power. If any king wanted to maintain his own autonomy, he fucking lost. Um, so that's the way he had, and he was a Dogra king. Basically, Dogras are like warrior people. So they basically went there, just took the land, and then the Britishers, he was favorable to the Britishers, so they let him stay there.
And it's always like either Britain or America or somebody like having their fingers in something that they shouldn't. That causes shit. I feel like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not
that's
completely
the
on their accord, but it's like also I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people blame Britain for it. Like, yeah, they're to blame for it, but like, like they're to blame for most things. But like, the fundamental divide is the British did not create the divide, right? The British, yeah, they
Right.
fucked up a lot of things, right? And I'm not like taking the blame for the things they did, but the divide is because of the Hindus and Muslims, right?
Yeah.
If the British were never there, it would still have been there, right?
Right.
They would still have to a lot, right?
And also, to be fair, a lot of the discussion is about blame and like that people try to go as far back and see how things originated. And that's kind of like important for understanding the context, but also it's not like living in the now. Like, how do we figure this out now? You know what I mean? It's the same with like, you know, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but like Israel, Palestine. Like, people want to go back and like, who did it belong to? And it's like, that's so far in the past. We have to like figure out how to fix this now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people try to make it. I can make both arguments, right? I can make a politically correct argument why it belonged to India. Fundamentally, because minorities are not safe there. Because there have been many iterations of ethnic cleansing of non-Muslim minorities in
Yeah.
Jammu and Kashmir. So the ones that live there, there is no reason to believe that they would be safe, right? All the evidence points otherwise. Up until
Yeah.
recently, up until like 20 years ago, we had a massive genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, right? So that's one thing.
Was
The
that
other thing
completely
is,
organic?
what do you mean?
Like, did any other countries have like were they
Oh,
playing
no, no, no,
within
no
that too or
country had
no?
it. Well, Pakistan. Well, it was obviously motivated by Pakistan, right? Pretty much any fuck up in Jammu Kashmir, Pakistan has one way or the other hands involved in it, right? The Pakistani
Right.
government. There's nothing that happens in GNK which Pakistan is not involved in. No civil unrest is happens just by itself.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and but the thing is, but the argument I believe in is basically that is a Hindu land. I don't give a shit if Muslims live in there for a million years. It will never belong to them. That's my argument. And the thing is, I'm not
Right.
even a religious Hindu, right? I believe in God, and some like conveniently when I'm in trouble, political
Right.
Hindu, because those people, they think I'm their enemy because I'm not a Muslim. They view me, so therefore they view me as a Hindu, even if I don't, because of my last name. So I don't have a
Mm.
choice but to be a Hindu, right?
Yeah.
I see somebody's posted the 3,000 black checks of Allah.
La
Wait,
ilaha
what?
illa
Where?
Muhammadur Rasulullah. The
Where?
3,000 inside chat
Wait, they did
Here?
what?
I don't see it.
in the side chat
Where is it? In
in the
Red
side
Pill
chat,
side
dude.
chat or
Yeah, yeah.
what? Where? I don't see it.
Dude, this,
The reason I asked if that was fully organic and no other country had like hands in the game is because like just the other like not that long ago in Plateau State, Nigeria, like 50 Christians were murdered by Fulani Muslim people. And I like looked into it, right? And the Fulani Muslim people are like herdsmen, cattle herdsmen, and they're pretty poor, and it's in a very poor region. But the weapons they used were brand new AKs. Like they had like night vision, new grenade launchers. It was like very like high tech, brand new weapons,
yeah.
right?
Most
So I'm
of
like,
it is
this is
either scavenged or sold by the French.
right. So I was like, I looked into it, right? And what I found was that that region is super rich in minerals and materials that are used in like the biggest tech in the world. And really, the people who were behind that whole thing were just people wanting to like fund and cause the conflict to wipe people out so they could come in and buy the land for cheap and then make the money from the materials. So like a lot of
Yeah.
times on the surface, it's like, religious or ethnic, battles or clashes, but really it's just people wanting money and power behind it all,
I mean,
which is so
the
fucked up.
The Fula people, the Fulanis live in West Africa, and that is an area that has been pretty much ravaged by colonialism for a long time. Even today, France has a lot of control over over those countries in terms of mineral deals and arms deals and everything. And it, like the level of involvement and the level of looting that they do there is insane. They in fact, part of their covert funding to a bunch of separatist groups there, they actually helped fund a bunch of jihadists in the region. Have you heard of Boko Haram?
No.
No, well, they are, ISIS, right? Islamic
Yeah.
State,
Yeah.
Daesh, right? So Boko Haram was an offshoot that pledged allegiance to Daesh, and they basically are a West African version of ISIS. They have killed more people than ISIS in recent years, mostly
Wow.
after ISIS pushed out. But Boko Haram is still active, and they mostly thrive off the same methods that ISIS did, was just getting, brainwashing people with their version of Salafi Islam, and then they start putting they take advantage of all of the looting that the French government did, and all the weapons that they left behind, or in some cases literally handed over to their people, and they do arms deals and everything. They're basically a bunch of pirates on land,
Hmm.
and they've also done a lot of religious persecution in those areas, killing
Yeah.
people who follow the traditional religions and all that.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Hello, hello, people. Hello,
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
people.
hello, hello,
Hey, Zaya.
Kathy. Hello, Isa.
Hello.
We were
What?
discussing the situations in India, Pakistan, and also in West Africa.
Mm, okay. Alright, I'm gonna
Hello,
go
Red.
quickly check on my cats, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello, Lindsay.
How's it going?
Decent. I just started another semester of classes, and I'm doing pretty good. You?
Good. It's almost 2 a.m. and I'm just chilling.
Yeah. Get some sleep when you can.
Yeah.
Is the dog platoon doing well?
No, they're all asleep. You asked about the dogs?
Yeah, the dog
Yeah,
platoon.
they're sleeping. I should sleep while they're sleeping.
Oh yeah. Red. I don't really care. But I'm just curious. Like, who does the U.S. favor in this conflict? India,
The
right?
U.S.
They,
favors.
they don't,
No,
dude.
no. See,
They play like the super safe game because thing is
Well, it's
they
always
want to
yeah.
been. Yeah.
favor
Hold
they
on.
want us to favor India, but they can because Pakistan is like a very important
No,
like
no,
country
no.
for them politically.
No, no. No, wait, hold on. That would have been true 10, 20 years ago. That's not true anymore now.
No, no.
See,
I'll tell you why it is true today. I'll tell you why it's true today because the thing is, any conflict with Iran, right? Pakistan will serve as the main base of all operations going into Iran, right? Or one of the main ones because it borders Iran. So that's one of the reasons it's such an important base for the Americans.
Everybody, I'm not here.
Hey, mate.
Yeah,
Hello.
hello, hello. Yeah, by the way, hold on. Pinochet, are you there? Just send your
yeah, I'm
screen
here.
something.
Yeah,
Hold
I'm
on.
here.
The rest of you guys can see this too. So, Pakistan, right? Um, Here, this is Google
MashaAllah.
Maps.
Yeah.
Look, oh, not Nego. That's not the correct. Yeah. This
Whoa,
is the
whoa, you
border
don't have
between
one.
Pakistan and Iran, where it
Yeah.
borders the coastline, right? Now,
Hmm.
there is a port here. called near the natural harbor. You see this part carved out into the water over
Yeah.
here in the middle. Yeah, there is this part, this place called Konarak. This is where India, who is an ally of Iran, we are very close to Iran. India and Iran are allied, and Iran lets India host troops here in Konarak. Now, the US wanted to, the US and China rely on this one port called Gwadar, but China has a lot of control over this place. And it lies in Balochistan, which is a part of Pakistan that is uh, pretty much an open revolt, very lawless land, and they have their own insurgency group that's fighting Pakistan right now. So Pakistan depends on this part over here, Gwadar, right? They depend on Gwadar, and right next to that, to the left somewhere is Konarak. Now everything revolves around these two places. The US relies on Gwadar as a way to counter whatever Iran is doing. So if they want to attack Iran, yeah, Pinochet is right. They will, Senor is right. They will attack Iran through that. Use that as a stopping off point. But they also have a bunch of allies in the Gulf that they can rely on for that exact purpose. The ports are not the best, but they will still do a decent job of it. Right now, Balochistan is such an unstable province for Pakistan. It raises the question, would you even want to sink your time and attention and troops into something like that? You waste a lot of money just holding the damn place at that point. And
Yeah, but America
Balochistan,
wouldn't have to worry about that until it does send troops there, right? So right now, it's fine for them.
yeah, true, fair enough. But Pakistan has betrayed them so many times at this point. Like, they are just not going to, be buddy buddy with them anymore. The US, you're right, the US wants to favor India, but right now it is decided it's better to stay neutral. And India doesn't want the US to be involved either, because if they get involved, then we might have to deal with China. It might turn into a bigger proxy war. We don't want that.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing is, the U.S. really, there's no reason to believe that U.S. can help India or Pakistan in any manner in this conflict, because historically, any country U.S. intervenes with, it leaves it off much worse than it actually before it
Yeah,
intervened. And
that Kissinger
yeah,
quote, to be their enemy is dangerous, but to be their friend is fatal.
I've heard that. I
Even
don't know
though,
what he means exactly, but like that, because for example, Western
well,
Europe is America's friend, but
that's
it's pretty good.
yeah, but he was referring to South Vietnam. He said we should send aid to South Vietnam immediately when the North attacked them, because if we don't do that, word will go out to the countries, to the nations of the world, that to be America's enemy is dangerous, but to be their friend is fatal. But ironically, foreign policy pretty much reflected exactly that in places like Kurdistan, for example. But that's a bit different. Uh, on the topic of Kissinger, he also sponsored a genocide in East Pakistan, Bengal, in what today is Bangladesh. And after that, the US and India, even now when India has formed far stronger relationships with the US, it's not to the point where, you know, uh, we consider ourselves allies with them at any point. It is good to keep a
Yeah,
distance. Even if they were to say, okay, India, we are allied with you, full on support, that would actually not be that good for us, because it
yeah.
pulls us away from other allies like Iran. Iran is, we are allied with both Israel and Iran at the same time somehow. We don't know how it happened, but it's happening. Afghanistan as well, and Russia. So if any one of these powers gets close to us, the others are incentivized to withdraw support. That's not good.
Mhm.
What up, y'all?
What up?
Hey,
Hey, hello.
Hello. What up, Wild?
That's
That's
me.
wild.
Don't get wild.
Yo,
That's
so
wild.
so how does this conflict end? How do you see it playing out?
I don't.
Basically,
I don't think
okay,
there's there's an end to this. I think it's gonna be forever, like some amount of conflict always.
Yeah, well, here's the way I see it. Pakistan, if they continue to be uh, stupid and self-destructive, they will break into pieces like Yugoslavia once did. That's the end goal, is to balkanize and break Pakistan apart.
Yeah, my main problem is that the super secularist and feminist government of India will import in a gazillion Pakistani refugees.
What do you mean super secularist and feminist? It's literally controlled by Hindu nationalists. It doesn't really
Hindu
matter.
nationalists, yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had the same Hindu nationalist who put a fucking bimbo, Muslim woman to do the press conference. Okay.
what? What do you mean? Oh, you
That,
mean Sofia Qureshi? What? She's
yeah.
just an officer in the army. Who cares who reads out what press
It
reports?
okay, yeah, it would have mattered if we want to win because the information war, because Pakistan has categorically won the information war in this conflict.
How? How have they
I don't
won
think
the
so. Not
information
not
war?
after the press briefing that India gave.
I mean,
Yeah,
yesterday's briefing was good. Yesterday's briefing was good after we had
Yeah.
dudes who knew what they were talking about do the job. But before that, we were like miserably losing. Like this tiny fucking nation, the tenth of our GDP or whatever, was doing horrible, right? And this
I
not
th- I
briefing
really.
think
was for
I think that's in
Whoa,
the
hold on.
West though. Like, yeah, go on.
And even if we sorry, just one thing quick. Even if we count Pakistan's support and sympathy for Pakistan before the war, it was jack shit. Now it is completely tanked. Like Pakistan's foreign policy has left them so goddamn isolated. They have barely anybody they could even consider themselves to have warm relations with, let alone friends. It's not.
I mean, they're getting like weapons from Turkey and stuff, and they got $1 billion bailout, didn't they? They got $1.1 billion
Yeah,
the day
from the
before yesterday.
IMF. Yeah, from the
Yeah,
IMF, right? Listen, the
yeah, yeah.
IMF isn't allied with anybody. The IMF wants to do corruption. When they give you money, they know that it's going to go to a bunch of tin pot dictators and they want to launder that money. That's what they do it for. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
they're allied with them. That's
I mean, I couldn't really care less of whether they're allied or not, but the fact of the matter is they're aiding them, right? These whether they're allied or
they're
not is trivial.
yeah, aid as a puppet. Foreign aid is almost always provided by liberal democratic nations to dictatorships, and it's done that way because it acts as a form of proxy. Oh, what is going? Sorry, is that a bit rude? Or did he just have to leave for something
No,
else?
no, 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 no. I think no, no, no. You were not rude. I think he might have accidentally left, or he might have his internet might have given
Yeah, I
up or
think I
something.
was. Oh, yeah, fair. I still think I was a bit too rough on her, but like, yeah,
I don't think you were
I
rude. I
moderate
don't.
myself. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
So,
you. Yeah. What's
What
up? You're
puzzled
gonna
me
ask me?
was he
yeah, so
What puzzled me was sorry, God.
who's like currently, I don't keep up with any of this stuff, so like forgive me for being ignorant, but who's winning? Is there
You
any
don't
side
need
that's
to.
winning?
I mean, listen. Nobody really wins in a war in the modern day. Even if we did win this, the cost would be pretty big on our society. Oh, hello, Sackless. Welcome aboard. Yeah. Even if we did win, the cost would be so huge that it like we'd obviously still manage. It would still be a win in some form for us, but it's not preferable to us. It's just only choosing war because all other options have been exhausted here. And
What's the best like
No, but
realistic scenario? Like if you were the leader and you were like, all right, best case scenario, let's make it happen. That's like still possible. What would it be?
depends entirely on the circumstances. But right now, India's policy is to basically balkanize Pakistan, like I said, whether quickly or slowly. And it is pretty much happening in some form.
the thing is, I think that Pakistan has gotten the message that terrorism will be met with war. Simply,
Yeah.
that's a big win for India. Um, Overall, I think this whole skirmish, India has won decisively. Like there's like they completely just shut out Pakistan from all angles. So,
I wouldn't say
but
entirely. it did highlight some flaws in our current infrastructure. Our Air Force is severely outdated right now. We do need to repair that.
No, but in what way?
Well, first off, in terms of maintenance and what procurement of new aircraft, the ones that we use, normally they're old but still pretty functional. But in some cases, we haven't upgraded them enough for the new kinds of skirmishes that come from in different new ways of battling. Like in Pakistan, they have mostly procured tech from China, right? Some from the US, but mostly from China. And the aircraft that China has supplied to them has all sorts of what new ways of defense, like electronic warfare aircraft, which we don't even have in the first place, or we have a bunch of old Sukhois and a bunch of MiGs that we are just stretching and stretching, and Pakistan is being armed with pretty good tech that China has been offering them. It has shown that it works. It's just that Pakistan's leadership is dog shit. I don't expect them
I,
to win, but it
I don't
has
think
proven our deficiencies.
I don't think that piloted aircrafts are the future. They're pretty outdated. The whole concept itself is quite they're being
Well,
replaced left and right with
we
other
see.
technology. What
I said we see. We see.
there's like a China made a UAV unmanned aerial vehicle and like it beat all the pilots in the dogfights. And it was a well, I guess it was a drone technically. But yeah, it was the the age of pilots is over. I don't think that there's any future in Air Force. Or we have missiles that just are super effective at shooting them down. You know. Even in Ukraine, where Russia-Ukraine war, most of the NATO supplied jets were taken down by drones, right? So there's again, like I don't, there's no future there.
What up, Saklas?
I don't.
Good, good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kill the room. Well,
No, no, no. You haven't killed the room, bro. Don't worry. It's fine.
Don't worry.
Everyone's
The
thinking.
room, the room just went into a period of collective introspection. It's okay. This was, this
Yeah.
Soul
was not
searching.
your doing. This is merely the cycle of VC.
Yeah. Saklas, you should actually not be scared at all now. Have you seen how India has dealt with everything?
Yeah, like even
yeah,
if we
I
put up a worst performance, we still do well enough that Pakistan's not gonna, you know, be able to put up
I mean,
anything.
I get it because my philosophy is just entirely different. Like, I'm ready to fight essentially. So I guess I just come from that place. You know, they're having a volunteer crisis in Amritsar and Chandigarh. Too many dudes want to volunteer to fight. So
from
India will
Amritsar to
never
Punjab.
have a draft issue. That's
You mean like
awesome.
from you're talking about
Hmm?
Punjab, Amritsar?
Yeah, yeah, Amritsar and Chandigarh. Yeah, they're
Interesting.
volunteering to fight.
I thought
They have too many
they're like
volunteers
trying
to
to.
fight. Hmm?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I didn't know. I thought they were like trying to be separate themselves from India, right? The Khalistan
No,
thing.
not really. The Khalistan is a very fringe movement. Even now in Punjab, there is very little support for it. Mostly in a bunch of extremely small border towns, and they also have a lot of clashes with the majority population of Punjab. Most people in Punjab, about 60% of them are Sikhs, and Sikhs actually have a history of serving a lot in the Indian army. Practically every Sikh village has sent at least one soldier, or like some cases, entire families of soldiers to fight for the Indian army. They are overrepresented in the army, so there is a lot of loyalty.
Right, I see.
Punjab Khalistan as a whole, like, started off as a movement. It was mainly encouraged by Pakistan after Bangladesh split off from them. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was the head of Pakistan at the time, the prime minister. He tried to meet with Sikh religious leaders and tried to encourage separatism in response to India encouraging Bengali nationalists to separate from Pakistan and from Bangladesh. So it was a kind of revenge there. And also because that is the general strategy of what how warfare works in the Indian subcontinent, divide and rule, and you know funding what insurgencies and terrorist operations and whatnot.
I mean, that's kind of how it works everywhere, not just. It's like it's a pretty common tactic, and I'm pretty sure like India is doing the same with the Baluchinists in Pakistan. So it's all it's not like it's all good, bro. It's everything's fair in love and war, I guess.
Everything is fair in love and war. Saklas
Well,
2025.
well,
It's a
I
pretty
don't
old
think there's
quote. It's
much
from
love
Three
and
Idiots, dude.
I know. Well, it's not from there.
Yeah,
They
it's from
used to
way
use
older
it.
than that.
well,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
love and war what is very old. Like,
Very,
who
very
who
strong.
coined it? Wait, who said it? I'm looking it up. Oh, it's attributed to a guy called John Lyly, who published it in his novel Euphues, The Anatomy of Wit in 1758. Um, but he wrote it as something a bit different. Any impiety may lawfully be committed in love which is lawless. It kind of evolved from that.
Yeah, man. But like, I feel like I'm a Machiavellian, which I guess Indian Machiavelli would be Chanakya.
Whoa.
This is Saklavallian.
Sankhyavelli.
Uh,
Is that how it's pronounced? I thought it's Chanakya, right? Or is it like the
No,
S?
no,
Yeah.
it's Chanakya. I said Saklavallian.
Oh, Sakhalin. Okay. I see what you did. But it's like, fucking like if you're at war, everything goes. Like Geneva Conventions are suggestions. Like it's you gotta do everything. Every dirty little tactic that you can come up with. Ambushing, interrogation, fucking like blackmail, or whatever, everything that you have at your disposal. It's all fair.
Saklas, as a Machiavellian, it's not the most intelligent thing to come out as a Machiavellian.
Yeah, well, I mean, none of you here are my enemies, yeah, right? So it's like it's not. I don't have to hide that from.
Still, you gotta tread carefully, bro. You never know. Do
I'm
you know
very tight.
everyone in this VC?
I'm very tight-lipped, bro. You don't have to worry about that, and that's like one of my core virtues.
Hey, Saklas, can I ask you, if you are a Machiavellian, how much do you know about Cesare Borgia?
Because I've heard that name somewhere, but it's not coming to me. Could you repeat
That's
it?
you, Cesare Borgia. I type it in chat. That's
Yeah, I'm afraid
that
I haven't heard of
guy.
it. No.
Oh, so you know the book that Machiavelli wrote called The Prince, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the titular prince was the closest figure who he modeled the prince of would be Cesare Borgia, and he was very cunning and very powerful, very interesting, brutal ruler um, in Italy who got
Was he the
rid of all.
guy? was he
Go
the
ahead.
dude who, when he went to conquer a town, he installed one of his puppets there and told him to be as brutal as possible. And then when the town people revolted, he came and murdered his puppet and like said that that's now all under control. Was he the same dude or was it someone else?
No, I think that was someone else. Most of the time what Porsche would do is he wouldn't he would most of the time just focus on scaring and outwitting his enemies because he mostly relied on his position as the son of a pope born out of wedlock, and he basically relied on his father pulling strings at first, and then after that he was mostly overlooked as like a guy who they thought was high on power. But then over time, he just kind of built up his own mini empire. He got very close to conquering uh, like half of Italy. And then his dad died, uh, and then they just swooped in and killed him.
Right, I'll that does sound interesting. I'll look into him sometime.
Yeah, because if you call yourself a Machiavellian, you owe it to yourself to see, who Machiavelli wrote that book off of. Um,
Right. No, I'll look into him. He sounds like an interesting character.
Yeah, also his life was extremely brutal. Like the Borgia family was known for like being incredibly deceitful and like very very controversial.
Mm. Mm.
But Machiavelli based a lot of his observations off of studying people like Borgia, and he held up Borgia as the example of a very cruel ruler who was able to still hold on to power for a pretty long time, and also how he lost it.
Yeah, I don't like again. I must have heard this name somewhere else before, but I just have to look into it again. I don't know anything about his life story or how he lost or any of that.
People were saying they have no issues with high taxes based on the kind of protection that has been provided.
Where are they saying this?
There was I think there was a meme on Instagram, which was like a lot of credit goes to Sitaraman. And in the comments, they were like, I'm willing to pay 50% tax if this is the kind of security we get. Because, I mean, we have to like look at that. They tried to fire a ballistic missile on Delhi, which was intercepted. That's crazy.
Wait,
Like
so
at that point, war is guaranteed in some
Yeah,
measure. Yeah. If you try
yeah,
to fire a goddamn missile at an ICBM at the capital,
yeah.
like how their junta clearly wants to coup the government there at this point. That's
I
what they're
think
doing.
the only reason, yeah, I think the only reason the ceasefire happens was because we actually attacked their nuclear sites.
And,
So
and so
there
they
was
needed some breathing room, right? Yeah.
no, I think USA got involved because they were like, bro, these guys are attacking their nuclear sites. We don't need
You know,
any radiation to
it's
affect
like
the air.
if the bully tries to pick on somebody he sees as an easy victim, but the guy actually turns the tables and starts winning, and all of a sudden, the hall monitor comes in and it's like, time out, time out.
wait, so
Yeah.
can you give me like a basic brief rundown on exactly what happened? Like
So
the whole conflict actually. I know nothing about it.
okay, no worries.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
yeah. You want
far
to take it,
back?
bro?
No,
I
no.
think let's just go from the terror attack, from this recent terror attack,
Yeah,
right?
it's okay, sure.
Oh, you want me to explain it?
Yeah, sorry, hold on. I have to run an errand for a bit. Hold on. Explain.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah. So what happened, Frog, in Kashmir, which is a disputed area between India and Pakistan, they did a terror attack in a place that is under Indian Army's control. And that in that terror attack, they targeted basically Hindu men, adult Hindu men, who had like who even had their families there because they went to a tourist spot. And the terrorists actually killed 25 Hindu men and one guy from Nepal. And the way they were verifying whether they were Hindu or not was if they could recite the Kalma, which is, I guess, some kind of scripture in the Islamic faith. And to verify further, they actually had them stripped down naked and check whether the men were circumcised or not. And if they were not
By,
circumcised,
by the way,
then they were killed.
yeah, sorry, just one small interruption. This was the same method that Pakistani army and their volunteer militias in Bengal used during the Bangla genocide in order to massacre Hindu men with that.
Right.
I was told
So yeah.
by my friend's
Mhm.
mom, who's Pakistani, she told me, like, briefly, because her son, my friend, he was like, oh, like the war's about to break out or whatever. And then I go to his house,
Mhm.
I'm talking to his mom, and his mom tells me, oh, India attacked Pakistan. Like, she was saying it as if that was like the first thing that happened.
Nah, nah. And you know why? Because well, A, they are propagandized. The Pakistani people just are consuming Pakistani propaganda. And B, they go with this plausible deniability method, right? Because if you send terrorists instead of your army to carry out these missions, then you can just say, oh, these are just terrorists. We didn't send them. But the funny thing
Mm,
is, on Sky News, the Pakistani defense minister admitted that for the past 30 years, they have been carrying out what he called the dirty work of USA and United Kingdom in India with all the terror attacks that have been going on. So
that
he admitted that for the past 30 years they have been doing it. And now they have admitted to what happened in 2019 in the Pulwama attack. So now they've admitted that in Pulwama it was Pakistan that did that attack. And now with this one, they're not going to admit it until the next attack, which has been their strategy. They deny it when the news is hot and then take responsibility when the news has died down, essentially. So, yeah.
dang, that's actually kind of clever. That's actually kind of
Yeah.
Machiavellian.
Yeah.
You wish it was Machiavellian. In reality, it's just pathetic. Everybody sees through the facade.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know
Yeah.
they were using the terrorists and going, "Oh, not us, is the terrorists." But I guess it makes sense. I
Right.
should have known.
Yeah.
They've been doing this
Because
for a
the thing
long
is,
time now.
yeah, way too long. I mean, remember Osama? Where was Osama found?
Abbottabad, Pakistan. Abbottabad, when that was literally a fucking military town. There are multiple bases and cantonments there. Very close to the
Yeah.
safe house where he was kept. Now, you ask me what that is.
Yeah.
It's
He's
literally that.
living among the military in Pakistan. It's crazy. And it's kind of wild to me that people are not catching on to this. Like, I really wish people would look more into, especially Pakistan, because they are the epicenter of terrorism in the world. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, they've funded more terrorists than literally any group. People say that the CIA funds a lot of terrorists, and hell, yeah, they have. But like you look at Pakistani's inter services intelligence agency, the ISI, and it's
Yeah.
clear what they do makes every other place in the world look, but just puny in comparison to the level of terrorism they fund. It's
Yeah.
nothing comes close.
India
Yeah.
should do the same. I don't know why we like separate.
But I mean, hold on. India learned we learned our lesson in funding terrorism when we funded a group of Tamil nationalist separatists in Sri Lanka called the ITT, and then they went rogue and killed a prime minister.
I didn't. But I thought LTT was anti-Indian.
The
That was
ITT
my.
was initially funded and supported by India. We did that, our government did it in order to bully Sri Lanka into submission because they were building bridges with China and the US. And India wanted to squeeze Sri Lanka into a better deal. Then the ITT went rogue. India made a deal with Sri Lanka to cooperate, which didn't last that long. And then the ITT started uh, attacking parts of India as well, and they even killed a guy who was the prime minister at then.
Interesting. I didn't know this. Why I thought that was. I
Yeah.
didn't know that LTT was funded by Indians. It's first I'm hearing of this.
Do we have evidence for this? And do we know this for a fact?
Yeah, sure. Let me send what I know of it.
LTT also sounds familiar. Like, what's the full form of the group?
Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam, or just called the Tamil Tigers.
Or Linus Tech Tips.
Ah. Ah, yes, yes. I think I know it from there.
Oh no!
LTT. Okay, so just to catch up, Frog. So after that terrorist attack, India essentially made demands that, hey, we have intelligence that you have terror camps over here, and we would urge you to cooperate with us in dealing with that. India made the Indian military specifically made demands to Pakistani military, but Pakistan shut down the demands and said that if you attack us, we will retaliate. So yeah, here we are. Then on May 7th, India basically destroyed their terror camps, and then Pakistan retaliated with um, aiming at our military bases and even civilians. Well, then India obliterated their military bases. I mean, it is pretty crazy the attack India did because we intercepted almost all of their drones and all of their missiles. I think one or two hit the targets, although I don't know if they were targets. It seems more like Pakistan was just raining missiles and drones, right? Um, and yeah, one or two hit the targets, but most of them were intercepted. And after that, India pretty much with their precision strikes took out three bases, even attacked one of their nuclear facilities as a warning. They only attacked the entry portion of the facility. So yeah, I think that is when USA got involved because you they were like, "Yo, this is getting out of hands. We need to get involved," and so they did,
Was it a?
and that is why a ceasefire happened. Hmm?
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Was it a like a uh, nuclear power plant, or was it like a missile silo, the nuclear facility? Like, what was it?
Missile, missile.
Oh, okay,
It
that's
was
interesting.
their nuclear weaponry thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and dude, like if you look at the entire press conference, India has now even given all the evidence required. They gave satellite imagery evidence, which is awesome because other countries can now easily verify India's claims because they can look at satellite imagery themselves. So yeah, at this point, I mean, India has done everything in its power to make sure that there are no doubts left about what has happened. And dude, yeah, it is just completely. In other words, we've completely raw dogged Pakistan.
By the way, I'm just curious, if you have any
Yeah,
information on this, because I've not been keeping myself updated, obviously. But what's the situation in Bangladesh right now? It's like last the revolution happened and a bunch of Hindus were killed. How are like well, how are they doing these days?
I think they're fine. They're just working with our government. Our government is essentially laying down the law for them because obviously the coup happened and Hindus were killed. So BJP is pretty much saying like, bro, you either you either work with us or you're fucked, essentially.
It's
Okay.
also worth noting that the Indian government did the genius move of backing Sheikh Hasina specifically, and
Yeah.
Bangladesh, her rivals wanted to build ties to China, and as a result, what when the student movement came to overthrow Hasina, the Indian government refused to withdraw support and continued backing her, continued sending support, aid, training, and after she was overthrown, everything flipped. Now that doesn't mean that India and Bangladesh are enemies in any way. We still do way too much business each with each other. We're all reliant on each other, but things are icy at
Mm.
best. Cold. And
What?
uh, it- another thing to note, sorry, just one more thing. Bangladesh relies heavily on uh, a series of river networks from the Brahmaputra River for a lot of its industry and for its agriculture. And it's a very tightly packed country. They are highly reliant on that river. Here's the thing: that river originates in Tibet and then it flows through a lot of eastern India, northeast India. So that means they are reliant on both India and China for control over that river. So they kind of have to play it nice with both of them because power is
Right.
exerted by both India and China on them.
Yeah.
Right.
How? I'm just thinking how fun neighbors are we have. You know, like one side Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and we have Bangladesh. But
Yeah, India's
this
surrounded by hostile neighbors.
China, even well, I guess China is kind of shielded by that mountain range, so don't have to worry about them too much. Um, interest, yeah, but it's like I guess the same situation in Pakistan and the Indus River, right? When you say Brahmaputra, like I guess same pretty much, where like we have the power to turn off their water. Uh,
But we don't have
when I
the
tell
infrastructure to keep it off, basically.
yeah,
We can do it for 1 or 2 days, but after that, our reservoir is not big enough to just hold all the water, essentially.
but then
Yeah,
you can
at
also like
most it would be artificial flooding of our own territory. So it's a lose
Exactly.
lose for everyone.
or
Exactly.
they can just make a bigger dam.
That's much easier
Yeah,
said
yeah.
than done, man.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
China's making some dams, by the way, which is going to make it harder for both India and Bangladesh. Uh, I'm talking about that same river, man.
I think your voice is cutting out. Is it just me
China
or?
actually
Yeah,
can
it's your voice was cutting out. Could you repeat what you said?
building dams. So both India and Bangladesh will be suffering if they build dams in their own territory, or well, in Tibet.
Yeah, and as a result, India also works to silently put sleeper agents in Tibet so they could revolt when China is in a weaker position. And China tries to destabilize India by training and sending troops over into specific secluded spots and training guerrilla forces. There's a whole bunch of them in the northeast and like causing communal disputes
Mm.
between the different groups there in order to destabilize
Mhm.
India. And India is trying to destabilize
Right.
Bangladesh, and China is also trying to destabilize Bangladesh.
Right. Bangladesh is pretty destabilized easily.
Yeah,
by
I
itself.
I don't I don't blame the student movement because they were left with no choice after Hasina basically wanted to make any kind of employment in the country reliant on bloodline. They were negotiating, but they were left with no choice. So they did what to them was the only thing to secure their future. But after Hasina is gone, there's been a power vacuum there. And if you let other
Yeah.
groups fill the power vacuum, they they run a very strong risk of basically just replacing one tyrant with another. There is the Nationalist
Mhm.
Party, is not
Mm.
which is basically a Chinese client, right? They're Chinese puppet. And then there is, and yeah, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has literally been branded as a goddamn terrorist group. In Canada, they have not been kind to other countries. They've been extremely irresponsible and aggressive, and they are allied with China strongly. Bad news for us, but it's also bad news for their neighbors and for themselves too, because it makes the country into a puppet state and it's not good. Then there's the Islamist party, Jamaat-e-Islami, basically genocidal maniacs. Fuck those guys. And then there is the new student movement has tried to start their own party, but it's unclear if they manage to get more support. Even if people launch a successful revolution, putting that into action as a government is much more difficult. And even if the internal
Mm.
government repairs some of the damage, they still left with a power vacuum. So there is a very strong risk that they just replace one dictator with another one.
Would you guys consider India to be like a global superpower, like the United States
Eh,
or China or Russia?
no, not even remotely close.
Do you think it'll
No,
ever
no.
get there?
It might if a lot of things change and we build a better way of administration in the country, and we are able to assert control over our neighbors in a way that actually benefits them as well as us. But until we solve a lot of problems, which will take a pretty long time, it won't happen. But the
Or just
country
annex our neighbors.
that's not an
But
option. You
I
can't.
will say that I will say that after those three countries, it is India that is. I would say at least in Asia, China and India are, well, I guess even Russia. We are pretty dominant, and like I would say China would have the most, let's say, ability to dominate, but Russia and India are not that far apart.
Do you think, would you consider
We have
India a more
potential.
powerful? Sorry, continue, continue.
Sorry, I just said we had potential, but will take a long time to get there. China is much, much stronger than us right now. Like it's not
I
even a
think
contest.
it's no. I think it's more like a facade because if you look at their economy, their real estate bubble is the one that is actually inflating their economy. The 19
If you,
trillion dollar economy that we see, it's like highly inflated because of their real estate bubble.
yeah, but even
And
if you cut
they
that
have
growth away, even if they do go
yeah.
into a recession, they are still leagues ahead of us technologically, militarily, and in terms of administration as well, in terms of foreign influence, in terms of basically everything. They have been 10 steps ahead of us whole time. And
But yes, currently definitely you're right. But if you predict the future, they do have an aging population, which is a big one for them.
oh yeah, China fucked their demographics with the one-child policy. That's their curse, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
That's also interesting because would you consider India to be more powerful of a country than Japan?
Oh, 100%.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about, but
Yeah, it
in
depends on
general,
like
yeah.
it depends like what part, like technology wise, we are way behind. But I guess when it comes like if we were to ever go to war with Japan, like military war, obviously hypothetical. Let's say that something happened, asteroid collides, and the two countries become side by side, and we go to war with each other. Like I think like India will win because just we
But I
have more
mean,
people,
we have too many people. We just flood their lands and boom, win by default.
and they don't
It's
even
not
have
even
new.
that. See, a power assessment, right? A power assessment is done from all angles. And if you look at India's the angles that India has, it's pretty crazy because on a diplomatic front also India's diplomacy is like S tier, right? They have managed to be friends with Russia. They've managed to be friends with USA, France.
And
Like,
Israel and Iran.
yeah, yeah, at the same time. So it's just S tier diplomacy. And obviously, when it comes to military, we're what, the fourth most powerful military in the world, right behind USA, China, and Russia, right? And
Japan has no strong military. They basically
mm,
only have
yeah,
the bare minimum to defend themselves.
yeah. So
Yeah, also,
Japan is like
sorry, go ahead.
Japan has no, no, you're fine, you're fine. Japan is good in certain ways, but they have other issues going on. They have like no one wants to, no one has the drive to basically get involved in romance, and their suicide rates are pretty crazy.
Yeah, they also have a
Um,
really aging population.
yeah, yeah. So these are the issues that I guess Japan is going through. With India, though, I think India has the largest young population. Our average age is like 27, 28. So we're truly witnessing the golden era of India right now. And this is like in the next 10 to 20 years, I think we're going to see a lot. Another thing is our foreign diaspora, the NRIs. If they, because they are still loyal to India, they can assert power in different countries in many ways. So there's like a lot of things. And if you look at our foreign reserve, it is basically touching trillions at this point. So in many ways, India is a pretty powerful country because it has managed to be friends with a lot of people. Um, Even our foreign Indian diaspora, yes, there are some issues there with like some issues there with like I guess smell or whatever or hygiene or whatnot. But overall, people do like Indians in terms of personality or whatever. And yeah, it's just overall, if I look at it as a whole, India's in a really good position right now. So it's pretty powerful.
Interesting, I guess. The only country in the top 10, like if you look at the countries that have the highest GDPs, I guess India is in like number fourth or sixth place. I'd have to check, but the only one perhaps in that list which has a above replacement rate birth rate. But it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how that happens. It, you know,
We be fucking with.
I don't know. It's maybe it's culture, it's something else. But it's interesting.
Yeah. And the power assessments that are done by, I guess, I guess you can say Western independent organizations, they are doing it based on allies. So that is why in the power index, India doesn't come up. Probably is in like the top 20s. And it is not entirely unreasonable, but I think it's slightly misinformed in many ways.
According to this chart, we also apparently have the highest growing GDP percentage. Like, okay, forward the link website inside chat.
Check this chat.
I'm looking.
Yeah, so our GDP growth by percentage is around 8.15% compared to something like Germany is a negative. I don't know why. Uh, China's 5.5, United States 2.89, France is 0.94. Well, you can just read it. I'll post to the link.
That meme is awesome.
Yeah, so in terms of just sheer GDP growth, I guess India is the number seventh spot in the entire globe. We have Macau, Guyana, Libya, Samoa, Congo, Armenia, Tajikistan, Rwanda, and then India.
In terms of what?
GDP growth percentage.
Oh, growth percentage. Interesting.
I've linked it side chat. You just look at it.
Yeah. So think about it. For what, 1.4 billion people to have a growth rate in what, top, what, eight? Top eight,
Yeah.
where? That, like top 10, let's say. Yeah, that's crazy. How much value is that? Yeah, we just have to figure out the poverty issue in India, which we have eliminated extreme poverty, but there's still a big poverty issue. Extreme poverty is, I think, some line decided by Brooks Institute. Is it? It's a Brooks Institute, right? Hold on, let me see. I had I had it saved somewhere. But yeah, we still have a poverty issue and education issue. We need to we need to come up with a solution for that.
Gotta go. See you guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I gotta go as well. See you.
Bye. Oh, Brookings, not Brooks. Brookings. My bad. Wow, everyone left.
They said, bye, Felicia.
Where did that term, was it just NWA that made it famous? By Felicia?
NWA?
Yeah, did they make it famous or who made that term famous?
It's from a movie.
Straight
What?
Outta Compton, yeah?
What
I never
movie?
actually saw the movie. I just know it's from a movie.
Right. I think they made the term famous, NWA. Let me see.
What's NWA again?
No whites allowed.
NW NWA
Damn, I gotta
is
go.
oh yeah, NWA is a gangster rap community, and the I guess they were like a rap band. I don't know what group. I guess yeah, rap group, and it had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Easy E, Ice Cube. I guess one more guy. And NWA stands for N words with attitude.
Mm,
So yeah.
I see, I see. Um, no, I will have to look up if the movie or the song came back. Or came first, because it was like some stoner movie, and there was a girl named Felicia in it, and like, I don't really, that's about all I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, dude, it was from the movie Friday.
Yes, there we go.
Right.
So
Right.
did Friday,
Yeah, Friday.
did that come out first?
Yeah,
Or
Friday's a
did the
super
song
old
come out
movie.
first?
Friday's from
The
1995.
song. The songs came out first, and I guess Friday was it was a movie about, I guess it's directed by Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you're right. It is a stoner movie. I saw it a while ago. I thought it was from
Dude, it
Straight
was
Outta
really from
Compton.
Friday?
That's what it says on here. It
I
says
just,
I
it's
think it. Oh, you looked it up? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it is referenced in Straight Out of Compton as well.
Well, Straight Outta Compton is like a spiritual sequel to Friday in a way.
Mm, right. Yeah. Yeah, they're good movies for sure.
and what was the song?
Which has Bye Felicia in it.
Yeah. It's okay, I'm looking it up.
Yeah. I guess it's not from a song. I guess
Yeah, the
it's just
song
from the
thing didn't make
movie.
sense to me. But I don't know.
Yeah, the Bye Felicia was also used in Straight Outta Compton. Is the scene, I suppose. Because I remember it from Straight Outta Compton, the movie. Here's the scene.
So how'd y'all's Mother's Days go?
Uneventful.
Well, we were kind of occupied with war, so
Well, I don't know what to say to that.
I guess India did give a good gift to the mothers of the entire nation.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But the joke in my head was like, Happy Mother's Day, we murder your children.
Right.
No,
Oh,
but
there's
for
gonna be a
real.
press brief. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, we're good. I'm happy. I mean, nothing has happened about the other than the terrorist attack, which yes, that is very unfortunate. I'm happy about our response.
Would it be safe to travel to India and Pakistan right now? It's got to be
India,
super
you're
cheap,
safe.
right?
Pakistan, you're not.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah, could be. Yeah.
I mean, I
But
can't.
there were
I've been told I can't go to
there were
Pakistan
like
anyways because I have an Indian citizenship.
yeah.
But
Mm.
is that true? Do you know if that's true? Do you know if that's the case?
What's the case?
Like, if I'm allowed to, like, I was told that because I have an Indian citizenship, I have an OCI card, that I can't actually like go visit Pakistan.
Oh yeah, yeah, most probably. Pakistanis cannot visit India. In fact, Pakistani nationals who were in India were asked to leave immediately to the terror attack. They were given 1 week's time to leave.
Wow.
And there were images coming out of I guess you can see all the flight patterns or whatever on some websites, and India's flights, like India was super busy, and there were no flights in Pakistan whatsoever during this time. So yeah, it just goes to show how much, I guess, trust people have in India and other countries as well. Otherwise, other countries would have come out with an advisory to not go to India, which I'm not sure if they did. But I know for a fact they came out with an advisory that don't go to Pakistan. Or specific areas of Pakistan, to be precise.
There's going to be a press briefing at 2:30 p.m. live.
What time is it right now?
It is 1:24 p.m., so in an hour from now.
Sick. Are you gonna stay on call for that?
Yeah, definitely.
Stream it, stream it. I want to see it too.
Yeah, yeah. I should warn you, it might be both in Hindi and in English.
I understand
So I
Hindi.
hope that they're Oh, cool, cool. Perfect, yeah. I hope they have like live translation. I hope YouTube can handle that, but let's see. I know you understand it, but if Wild wants to stick around, then
Yeah,
maybe.
like if I'm still awake, then I'd love to hear it.
Okay, yeah. It's in an hour.
Yeah, but it's also 4 a.m. for me.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. What's keeping you up?
The crazy mostly.
What's so crazy?
Oh, my brain. My brain.
Ah, I see, I see. That meme was pretty crazy though. It's funny that
Dude, that
they're
was
trying to
fucking
insult me.
hilarious. You were
Yeah.
targeted, dude.
Yeah.
Did he fucking No, it's not that. It's that they did the work to fucking I don't even know. Get your profile picture, blow it up, enhance it, cut that shit out. They fucking they put in some work for that. That's what I was
Yeah.
like. Either they were doing it to be funny or they're fucking insane. And like even
Yeah.
just to be funny, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's like he's trying to I guess intimidate me or whatever, or like insult me, but he's also giving me a compliment.
Honestly, you should just feel flattered. Like somebody took the time
Yeah,
out of their day to make you a meme. Like you're a legend
yeah.
now. Come on.
I guess. It's just funny.
Yeah. And then the way you answered, I was like, damn, I wasn't thinking any of that. I just thought they were crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just trying to be funny. I mean, I guess it
You were
came
like
off wrong.
anonymous, no lifers on the internet. I'm like, bitch, don't call me out like that.
No, but there's people who want to be anonymous but who are chill, and then there's no lifers. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you wouldn't do something like this.
The meme? No, but like, I wish I would. You know? That's fucking, I'm
Why?
sorry. I think it's cool as shit. And like, I don't know, to do it to insult somebody, that's crazy. But like,
Right.
I'm inspired now. I want to go get a picture of my best friend and make her a meme of something.
Yeah, there are positive memes going out there like about people here. Like if you look at these memes, let me see if I can pull them up. Hold on. They're pretty positive.
Hello,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
guys.
Hey,
Yo,
what up?
Hey, Quip.
Hello.
I like your cat in a hat picture.
Thanks. Thank you.
Come here.
What you guys talking about?
Someone
The
try to
fact that
make
Varun's a
memes.
legend now.
Haha.
Mhm.
Someone made a meme out of him and like took the time to fucking take his profile picture on there, blow it up, cut it out, all that, and like made some stupid meme of it.
where's the meme?
Yeah. In the
Look up
side
in the
chat.
side chat if you scroll up enough. I was honestly just like looking at random shit on there while people were talking and I found it.
I see it.
There's
This
another
is
one
the
that was like, "No, don't kill yourself. You're so sexy, ha."
this is the
That one was
same
funny.
guy, by the way. This is the same guy who's made the meme. And yeah, here's another meme about me.
There's another one? There's two
Yeah,
about you?
yeah. There's many.
You have more than one meme?
You see that in the side chat? I put it. It's the same dude, by the way. When I guess he used to like me, but then when I call him out on his bullshit, now he wants to make derogatory memes. All right.
This guy is fucking. Look at this idiot.
Yeah, he goes from making a meme where it's, I don't know, kind of like praising me or whatever, to making a meme that is
No, but it's the fact that
derogatory.
he like.
Yeah.
Is this an
Here's another
autistic
one.
motherfucker? Like,
Yeah, I
he can't
guess
just
so.
be saying it. He gotta do all this work.
Yeah. Look, here's another meme about me.
What?
We need more pictures,
What
bro. We need to make
the
more
what?
memes.
What?
Yeah, so that's supposed to be like 1,000 babies. That's my face on each baby. So
Oh, that's nasty.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Not your face, but the whole. Like, what is
Right,
going
right, right.
on? Why does she
I
have
know.
great intestine, pregnant stomach?
Yeah, I think it looks like brain, but that's supposed to be like a lot of babies or something. I guess it's
Yeah.
a
And then
AI
what's that one
generated.
dude in the background doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Some bullshit. So yeah, lots of memes made about me. Let's see
Yeah.
if there's more.
I'm sorry, this one is so weird. It's so weird. It just
I
gets worse.
know.
The more, what's going on with the bike wheel? Why are the babies smushed out at the bike wheel?
Yeah, yeah. It's just AI.
Oh, it keeps getting worse. I
And
need to look away.
I'll delete it. Don't worry. If
No,
you
you
guys want
don't
to
gotta
save it,
delete
it's
it.
up to you. I'll
I
delete
mean,
it.
I don't give a shit, but
No, you're good. But yeah, this guy had posted this meme multiple times. Meanwhile, on Intel, shut up nerds. I'm saying shut up nerds. He had posted this multiple times, but now he's using the same photo to like try to insult me. It's just super. Like, I don't even know.
question: how do you get the picture of your face?
He pulled it out of my profile picture. If you see my profile picture, it's the same picture.
Not like the one. Isn't this your profile picture?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You mean the pregnant one? Yeah, that was another one of my profile pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's talking about how I'm going to have 1,000 babies or something because
That's so weird.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, God, how many times did he post this meme? Like, I'm just looking through his chats. He's posted the "Shut Up Nerds" meme like at least 8 times now. I'm I'm looking at if there are other memes that he also posted. Yeah, there are memes about other people that he posted. So
That's so funny. Thank God I don't have.
mhm.
Oh, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I've gone through a whole cycle. I got drunk, I sobered up, I'm now hungover. And I didn't even sleep.
Hmm. Nice muscles, Varun.
Thank you, man.
Mhm. Which state you are from?
I'm from Delhi, but I'm living in Pune.